You know who else got shut down? Your coffee shop.
I know. It's unfortunate too, because I don't know much about that guy, but he had a dog named Buddy.
Wait, isn't that the coffee shop that you've always talked about?
It's the best coffee I've ever had. Turns
Yeah,
out
it's the same coffee that Trump's motorcade stops by and picks up on his way to the golf course.
I mean, it is right across the water from his house.
Just saying.
But I walked by there today. The signage out front is down. And I went to the coffee shop down the street, Misha's. They have a good cup. It's just not as good.
Well, James, before you count us out, I'd just like to say that the ASOS podcast does not support any coffee shops that support Trump. What we do support is Kool-Aid. Now,
Oh, my God.
this is a drink for the people, by the people. I like to drink it in my finest glassware. You know, there's nothing quite like it. And you just know that there's nothing better than the taste of diabetes.
Well, whiskey.
Yeah, I mean, this is at some point we're gonna have the same issue. Someone's gonna shut down. And I prefer my Tennessee's finest.
With a little bit of racism in it. Got it. Like you like your coffee. A little bit of racism.
A little racist. I think it was more like the molestation that really got to them. Not so much the Trump bandwagonery. And I don't even think he's a Trump guy because he's a
Birds of a feather.
He's a California surfer dude. I think he's just a conspiracy theorist, which is worse. But at least if he was a Trumper, you'd have a reason behind it. I think he's a crazy lefty with also he's a conspiracy theorist. So,
I ain't got to worry about Kool-Aid being problematic.
I mean, it's just sugar water, and in your case,
Sugar water.
red.
All right. 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to the show.
I hate both of you. Like each time.
We hate ourselves.
Yeah. All right. Welcome back to All Social Sports, episode 34. Charles Barkley.
Ooh, good call.
Ray Allen?
Charles. Charles still over Ray Allen.
I can't remember if Ray Allen was 34. That's what I'm
Yeah,
sure.
he was.
Okay, that's what I'm making sure.
Yeah.
When did Ray Allen retire? I feel like he's still in the league somewhere.
No.
No, he retired in, 2014?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I just feel like I see him like either at games or like talking after them, and I'm always
like he does like a little bit of commentary.
Oh,
or, like,
and I'm always
he'll
like,
be on like NBA TV and stuff every now and again.
Yeah, everybody's doing commentary, like Aqib Talib.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Yeah.
I was about to. I had to mute it.
He got better as the game went on.
No, because he kept saying
He just sounded like one of your boys watching the game with you. Just
that's
there.
I like that though.
No, but
at first it was rough.
He kept saying momentum change. This is a change of momentum, shift in momentum. And then whoever was next to him started saying it too because Aqib kept saying it. I was like, give me like.
I mean,
it's all shifts in momentum in this game.
Just look at it as if you are on the sideline and you're talking about the game with the player that's playing.
What is the
probably say the same shit too?
What is the phrase he coined? Honey hole ball? Honey hole?
Honey ball? Honey hole. Oh, yeah.
Honey hole.
Oh, yeah. He hit the honey hole there.
Honey hole on that ball. It's like, all right, Aqib.
What's the honey hole? Sounds like a vagina reference.
At least Aqib still.
I don't know if that's appropriate.
I'm proud of Aqib still collecting checks while Michael Crabtree's wandering in the streets looking for his chain.
I thought he's with the Ravens.
God damn it. It was just a joke. Just let it go. Damn it.
Didn't he?
No, I'm trying to figure out.
He snatched his chain.
He snatched his chain twice, and then fought the same time.
Quick sidebar on Michael Crabtree. My ex-girlfriend was one of the trainers at Texas Tech when Crabtree was there. And she said there was not I realized what I was about to do. She said there was not a bigger dick in two ways in the locker room. Now I'm not going to completely besmirch his name, so I'm not going to go completely into detail of some of the stories. But apparently, he was just a complete asshole. He thought it was like God's gift to the earth. He just was a rampant douchebag. So I've never been a fan of Michael Crabtree, especially after she told me that story. But
I mean, I feel like there's a lot of like college, like the top athletes. They're all kind of douchey, just because they are the top athletes. And then you get like the Brett Favre's, who like didn't like nobody really said anything about him, you know, in terms of like how he was off the field until he was in the NFL. It's just being
small town boy.
Yeah, it's just being a pro athlete. And then you hear about like the actual top athletes, like the Patty Mahomeses, who are apparently just the best people to hang out with if you like ketchup on your steak. So.
Or my best friend who went to Baylor with RG3 and just said he was the biggest fucking loser at every party.
Really? Well,
he was just they said he was just the what's his name? Was it Rob whatever that was on ESPN and called him a cornball? Was that when that happened and everybody kind of was up in arms about it? My friend said she was like, "Nah, dude, like he was lame as shit." Like it was just,
hey,
like, everybody knew his mommy did his hair and he would show up to these parties.
Craft. He's focused on his craft. He's not being lame.
All right.
There's also the story out of Washington where his wife calls up Trent Williams' girl because he didn't get invited to Trent Williams' birthday party. Then they force RG3 to get invited, and he stands in a corner at the party because nobody wanted to talk to him. That's RG3, okay?
He probably hurt himself on the field so he could get out of Washington. All right.
I tried to make this transition, but it was a little tough.
Yeah.
I was going to say, you know who else wants to get out of their current team?
Go on.
James Harden.
I heard that. So I saw the story about how allegedly TMZ is reporting.
Fuck you, TMZ.
Fuck you, TMZ.
Jinx.
You owe me a Coke or some Coke.
Don't know how to get the ladder, but
I think
I'll get you the form.
like I wouldn't be surprised. Like I think we've said this 1,000 times. Team owners are gonna vote their interests. Like everybody votes basically for their interests, unless they are unselfish and vote for the interests of others because they're already protected by this country. So it's not shocking that the owner is a Trump supporter. But on the other hand, I think he wanted out anyway. So this story doesn't surprise me if that is a factor. But he's already getting paid. He turned down $50 million a year. He was already on a 3-year, $133 million deal. So if you think about it, it's pennies. It's not tons. I mean, he's making over $40 million a year
it's
now.
$6 million
Yeah,
a year.
But
it's not pennies.
Pennies to him.
Oh, fuck you from your high horse for $6 million doesn't mean anything. Fuck out of here. $6 million a year. That's
not enough. That wouldn't, if it was, I think 15 to 50, I'd be sitting here like that's game life-changing generational kind of money. But if you already wanted out and you offered him $7% more, rough math, terrible math, not good at math, going with 7. You offer him a small percentage increase on his salary to have him stay. And obviously that was the max that's the max allowed.
The Rockets can pay him the most out of anybody. And
right.
He chose that. He turned that down.
It's not worth it to him because he can make his $40 million plus a year and go play on a team where 1, he's comfortable, and 2, he thinks he can win a championship.
And the income tax rate in the state of New York on that $40 million is going to be 6-point-something% compared to the 0% tax rate in the state of Texas.
Here's something, and I'm going to research this week, and we should circle back to it on Saturday. Is it possible for players to set up like a company based on themselves? Like they are their company?
Not to collect a paycheck.
So they can't.
If you could maybe do it when it comes to the endorsement deals, you can maybe do it when it comes to the other things, but you're not going to be able to do that when it comes to your player contract.
That's why everybody was so hyped when the Raiders moved from Cali to Vegas. And that's why a lot of agents, when we were signing people, were trying to backload a lot of the stuff because you'd rather get the money in Vegas than you would in California.
Why do you think all these teams in Florida that aren't worth a goddamn grain of salt always get these fucking players to come in there and want to put in work?
Number one is Florida, but number two, the money.
Right.
Who I would rather live in Ohio than Florida. Ugh.
Agreed. Whoa, Ohio's rough. But yeah, I would. Florida, I think, is the worst place on the planet.
Florida, not now. But like if you like lived on Miami Beach or something.
Miami's different. Miami's not Florida. I stand by that.
Don't you still need a Cuban passport to live there or Puerto Rican?
Wow.
You should.
I love Miami, though. That is about it. But also, Miami gets a little overwhelming. But
my name is Kadeen Hanif. I'd live a much greater life in Iraq than I will in fucking Florida. All right? I'm just saying. But look, James Harden, what it comes down to it is that even when I'm looking at the money as a factor, right? Like I'm saying that if you've got Houston willing to pay you that much money and it's tax-free and you still want out of there, you must want out of there bad. Now, I don't know what it is the incentive is. I mean, TMZ, fuck them, but they're usually right as far as the ties when it comes to Trump, especially in today's climate. If you are a Trump supporter as an owner, you're not going to be somebody that's going to be vocal about it. You might let some of that donation money through a shell company or something, maybe get the money there to them. Right. You shouldn't be overt, especially in the NBA with the way that the climate itself is. So if that is the case, I could totally understand that being one of the reasons. The other reason is you have some people that always want to bring up the Russell Westbrook aspect of Russ running off teammates because of his play. Look, I've calmed down on my Russell Westbrook hate.
Okay.
I completely calmed down on my Russell Westbrook
in the last 15 minutes.
No. I've said it on the podcast that like Russell Westbrook and his style of play is, while it annoys me in a lot of different ways, it's the closest that I see to Allen Iverson as far as just the amount of effort that he puts through in the game. I'm not comparing them directly, but I'm saying that I respect what Russ does.
Yeah.
There's the other element, which is that they've tried. How long has Harden been in Houston? They've had money to make things happen, and they're not getting it.
They have done things, and it just hasn't worked out.
It just hasn't worked
out. And
out.
then at the end of the day, it's always the same story where the two stars don't want to play with each other.
Right. So if I'm looking at that, Harden and Durant are still great friends. It's not like it was when it came to like the Russ Durant situation or anything like that. And I also look at it from the standpoint of KD. KD's been on the same team as Kyrie Irving for a year now. And he's probably looking at Kyrie like, all right, we might be able to do something, but I don't necessarily fully trust that we'll be able to do something, so we need a backup plan. And the backup plan being a Harden along with the Kyrie in Brooklyn just makes sense. I think KD's probably in Harden's ear nonstop. Yo, come to Brooklyn. We're going to win this fucking thing. And I think Harden and them being friends and being able to go to Brooklyn together would be a beautiful thing, especially coming out of the East. But I also, my dark horse is still, as far as the Harden thing, has been, even as I said on the podcast, I'd love to see him in Philly. Yeah. What does Philly have to give up? I don't know. It looks like across the league right now, all you got to do is give up the entire future as far as draft picks, and you'll be able to get whatever you need to.
Also, maybe, and here's a hot take, maybe James Harden realized that the only time he really played very well was under Mike D'Antoni. So he's going to the Nets because D'Antoni is an assistant coach.
Nah. Well, interesting news came out about Russ, like a little while ago, was the fact that the Rockets and the Wizards are reportedly discussing a trade between them to send Russ to DC for John Wall.
First of all, it would be John Wall, every draft pick, $400 million.
But if the Wizards trade John Wall for Russ, I feel like they need to move Beal too, because I don't think Russ and Beal will work together.
Who and Russ work well together?
I don't know.
So that's the thing. I think you got to look straight up. Do you want John Wall or Russell Westbrook on your team? John Wall hasn't been healthy in how long?
5 years.
Maybe like 2.
The report comes out today. I forget who wrote it, but that John Wall's not going to be playing the same amount of minutes that he used to play. They're already talking about bringing down his minutes as far as his play goes. You have the videos that come out as far, and trust me, I'm just following a train of thought. Not that I agree with it at all. You got videos come out, the John Wall throwing up gang signs or John Wall playing spades while doing an ESPN interview. And it's one of these things where, all right, you haven't played for us for how long? Even if you have played for us, we haven't gotten that far. I mean, I love John Wall. I fucking love John Wall.
Everybody loved the fact that he was doing spades.
I wish he was paying more attention. That's the only thing. It was like, if he could just
He was talking about football.
If he could just...
And he's a fucking Cowboys fan.
All he had to do was just at least pretend to be listening to what the interviewers were saying. I just thought it was a little out there. But I'm just saying, like, if you're looking at Russell Westbrook, why not try it? I mean, if you're Bradley Beal, you're sitting here in your contract, you're like, look, we haven't won anything. I feel like I'm kind of wasting away. Bradley Beal still is a great team guy in the sense that he's not complaining about anything. Does he want something to change up? I mean, I know that Russell Westbrook sells seats in the goddamn in the MCI Center, or whatever the fuck they call it in that.
Verizon? Capital One Arena?
Oh, who gives a shit? Whatever. Fucking,
yeah, like he will sell seats, but at the same time,
Chinatown.
You got to give up so much to get Russ that it just doesn't make sense.
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
I also read, I think it was on ESPN, that there is maybe not chatter, but talk amongst the people who do trades of Bradley Beal going to the T-Wolves for Jarrett Culver and their number 1 overall pick, which could also be interesting. It'd get Bradley Beal out of Washington into a team with some pieces with Towns and Russell, D'Angelo Russell.
I would need more than that.
I'm the first overall pick this year.
Yeah.
I mean, if you get Russ Westbrook and the first overall pick.
You said Culver.
No, but then I'm saying then you also do the John Wall trade for Russ.
Oh. No, I mean it's two separate things.
No, yeah, they would be two separate trades.
Yeah, like I wouldn't move Beal for Culver in the first.
No, first overall, not just
I don't care.
Round.
Like didn't what's the point guard that went from Philly to Orlando?
Fultz?
Yeah, Fultz went number 1 overall.
I mean, it's not a guaranteed thing.
I know. That's what I'm saying. You're giving up a proven asset for a possibility, and everybody's saying that possibility is going to be LaMelo Ball. Nah.
Oh, God, no.
It would have to be James Wiseman, but
look,
for Washington. But
if you're Washington right now, we haven't won shit. We've had Bradley Beal. We've had John Wall. Do you blow it up? Because right now, the biggest thing has been we're not able to attract anybody to come here. Number one, because our salary situation is shit when it came to John Wall eating up that much of the contract and not playing.
Kadeen, I'll say this, though.
I like Rui Hachimura. Like, I don't like.
But Kadeen, I feel like the Wizards dropped the ball. If they were going to blow this shit up, they should have done it before all the other teams did it.
Because I don't think they know what they want to do.
Because other teams did, and now they took advantage.
But it's hard to. But if you put on the Washington GM hat on for a day, okay, it's kind of hard knowing what it is you do with this roster. Because it's not like you can say they have all these young building blocks. They got 1 or 2 guys that you can look at and say, okay, that's promising. I point to Rui Hachimura. Beyond that, you have Bradley Beal, who's getting older. John Bertan, who's 28 years fucking old. You got
and he wants a max contract, right?
Right. So you have then you have John Wall, and you have Bradley Beal, who are getting up in age, and it looks like those could be like key cogs in these really good teams if they were part of it. Like if they've had a better squad around them. So it's like, all right, what do you do? Do you blow the entire thing up, just start to get young and see what it is you could do a rebuild? Do you try to attract one guy to come in because you think Bradley Beal's enough to make it happen? I don't know. So, like, that's what I'm saying. If you put on the Washington GM hat, part of me wants to see what happens when John Wall gets back.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and I think we saw that in the interviews with Bradley Beal towards the end of last season, where he was like, "Nah, I'm here because I want to play with John Wall."
Mm-hmm.
And here's the thing: if John Wall can stay healthy, that's a pretty nasty squad. The problem is, like, how much older does Brad Beal want to be when he gets traded?
Yeah.
And also, like, it's the same thing with the Washington football team. It's
not, but
I know, but I'm just saying, like, sometimes bringing in the big superstar player, the shit doesn't work out. And if you bring in Russ, I don't know if that's the big superstar talent that you want.
I think a lot of people are starting to look at the Jimmy Butler formula, though. Like how he went to a young team that had like a good young team, and he was like the leadership like cog to make shit go.
I don't remember that ever happening other than that situation. I don't know if that's
no. I'm saying that could be the start, because if you look at OKC, they got like 50 first-round picks for the next like 4 years.
Dude, that's insane.
I see like
also there's different like
nobody's built like Jimmy Butler,
and I don't Scott Brooks isn't the same coach as the coach in Miami, so I don't know. It's the Wizards are a mess.
Yeah, and like they waited too long. Like, I mean, at this point, I think what they're saying is true. They're not going to give up Beal or any of that shit.
Yeah, and I don't know what.
Because if you do that, you just blow the shit up.
Yeah.
Well, I will say, Bradley Beal, Russell Westbrook, and Rui Hachimura, that could be pretty fun to fucking watch.
It could be fun. They're not going to win shit.
I don't know.
Dude,
I know. They're not going to win shit.
Troy Brown, Thomas Bryant, like budding superstar.
A lot of teams are looking at it now like, all right, can we win with this team? Or what can we do to be competitive? The Wizards cannot do anything to be competitive this year or next year.
Whoa. John Wall, when healthy, is a top 5, maybe top 3 point guard.
I misspoke. Competitive as in get to the finals.
That's okay. I mean, especially now if you're talking about Harden going to fucking Brooklyn. Yeah, I get it.
Right. Even if Harden stayed at the Rockets and Westbrook stayed at the Rockets, or Westbrook went to the Wizards, you're not getting to the finals.
I don't know about it. Well, all right. Out of the East,
Drew Holiday just went to the Bucks.
I think we're a playoff team.
Yeah. Like, I'm not saying you wouldn't be. Like, you might be the AFC. The East is not good. Top to bottom, the East is not good.
I don't know. There's a part of me, just the fanboy in me just wants to see what John Wall can still do.
No, I'm with you on that. I'm saying at this point, that's what they have to do.
Yeah, but we all kind of knew this. Like, at the end of the day, our team is only going to go as far as John Wall's contract takes us.
Because we gave him most of the money.
Oh,
which no fault of his own. Shit happens. Yeah. It sucks.
Yeah, he got injured. Like, it is what it is. Also, Andre Drummond opted in to his, I think it was $28.7 million deal with the Cavs. Maybe he can try to get moved himself. Who knows?
That's one thing I think the fucking Wizards need.
But I don't think Drummond would get anywhere close to that amount of money on the open market.
No,
because they don't value centers. Like, even if he was his 2020, they don't value. It's the same thing in the NFL running backs. It's just a position that's not as valued.
No, it's because everybody's. It should be. Well, hold on. The NFL, when it comes to running backs, I understand the de-evaluation of a running back. I completely understand it. But it comes to the way you're scheming as far as X's and O's and how you're using a running back. Outside of that, I hate the fact that everyone in the league is basically playing this small ball bullshit, looking at what Golden State did over the last 10 years, and not realizing that you can still run it. That's why I go back to Giannis should be a center, and they should play through him. There is an element that if you are a big, they should look. There's no reason why it shouldn't work. Nobody can point to me a reason why you can't run an offense to a center. Still, like I'll never understand that shit as far as the NBA. As much as just people, NBA is one of the most like trend following goddamn. I mean, they're all really. This is why Wildcat fucking in the NFL takes off for half a season and everybody starts doing that bullshit. Like I don't know. There's always an element to me that I think about the center position. I think about the way it's changed over time. And I don't think it's anything different other than you got coaches that are just not scheming that same way. Maybe there was a gap of period as far as having a center that was that talented. I think there was sort of a vacuum after Shaq was a certain type of player. You had Tim Duncan was a certain type of player, and you don't necessarily have somebody that follows them up just yet. But I think you develop that. I'll never understand that in the NBA.
I mean, and also I don't see it going as far. Like, everybody's very trendy towards, like you said, Golden State. But if you put a Giannis at center and you start moving it through him, and everybody schemed defensively to defend small ball, that's a recipe for going very far.
I mean, the reason why I think Giannis to Golden State will work is because they have so many other shooters around him.
If Giannis to Golden State happens, that should be the league steps in to stop something.
Well, look, all right, so
there's no reason that should be allowed to
discuss what happened to the Bucks, right? So they just traded for Drew Holiday, right?
And they got Bogdan.
Yeah. They did that to try to keep Giannis. I saw a post today from Stephen A. Smith, like, discussing about how the Bucks should still try to trade Giannis because he doesn't think that he's going to stay there.
Yeah, he's got until like the end of this month to sign an extension. Is that right?
I don't know.
I think it's coming. Right. It's coming soon. Hold on.
Yeah.
The date.
Here's the thing. They ain't got a choice now.
Mm-hmm.
And they are praying and hoping and wishing to whatever gods they can pray and wish and hope to.
Yeah,
Giannis sticks around.
December 21st is the deadline.
They mortgaged everything.
Mm-hmm. A lot of teams have done that recently, which so OKC is going to be really good.
Well, that's the thing is that if you look at it, the entire philosophy on I want this superstar guy and I'm going to trade you all this bullshit for this guy, it always works out in the favor of the team that gets the superstar. Like, I think there's this a lot. It's the same thing that happens like in fantasy football. In fantasy football, you get somebody that wants to trade you for like DeAndre Hopkins, and they give you like 3 bums, thinking that like those 3 players will add up to getting a DeAndre Hopkins. You never make that trade, okay? You keep your fucking superstar.
Well, like, what if you're offering the first round pick of your team from next year? Like, it's a little different.
No, I'm saying it doesn't. I'm telling you that if you look over time in those situations where you package a bunch of guys, in the NBA especially, you package a bunch of guys for a superstar, when is it usually worked out as far as that team that packaged all those they got like, the received package?
We traded for Porzingis, and we gave up like DeAndre Jordan and Dennis Smith Jr., and then we also got back Tim Hardaway Jr. and Courtney Lee.
And you were right there in it because you got Kristaps, right? So that's what I'm saying is that get the superstar. So, like, I look at Milwaukee and I'm like, all right, I get mortgage and everything, but you're mortgaging everything based on Giannis staying. If Giannis leaves, you fucked up.
Mm-hmm. But I think they didn't do that without talking to him.
I don't know. I honestly don't know.
I mean, if they talked to him, why hasn't he signed his extension yet?
Then my understanding is Giannis doesn't necessarily talk to this organization other than that final meeting.
The who's that tennis star that always like I think he's Australian, or not. He might be Greek. I think he's Greek, and he's always like getting pissed off at everybody.
John McEnroe.
No. It starts with a K. His last name starts with a K.
It's not my favorite last name.
Kyrgios or something like that.
Tsitsipas.
No.
Serena Williams.
Kyrgios.
Yes, that dude. There was an interview, and he stirred up some trouble, saying like he's like, all right, I talked to Giannis, and I was like, hey, are you going to Miami Heat? And Giannis just smiled, like he just gave a big smile, and then Giannis tweeted, he's like, come on, man, why you got to start problems? And then I think like maybe like the next day they got Drew Holiday.
I mean, he's getting what he wants through backdoor means. In other NBA news,
Chris Paul to the Suns.
Well, I was gonna say Kevin Porter Jr. likes guns like the Wizards in the 2000s. But yes,
this is more important.
I don't know, man.
Chris Paul to the Suns.
Guns in locker rooms was real fun for like a whole year if you lived in Washington.
Yep, but
what fun.
Yeah, Chris Paul to the Suns. Chris
Oh,
Paul with Devin Booker.
along with
I like it.
Abdel Nader?
And DeAndre Ayton. I think that's
D. Ayton's there. Book's gonna be there. I'm sorry they're in Phoenix. Because
all right, Charles.
although they do have those cool jerseys. What are they? The Valley Boys with the Z? I like that. That's a new mentality. I like it. But they sent Oubre, Ricky Rubio, Ty Jerome, some French last name I can't remember. Lecu, maybe? And a first-round pick, I think, right?
Mm-hmm. I think so, too. For Chris Paul.
And what did we just say about trading superstars? Phoenix can make some noise.
Well, I mean, like, OKC did get they did get Ricky Rubio. He's not bad.
No, he's not.
Especially next to Shai.
Yeah, I'll say, in all honesty, this is not a trade I care about. I think the biggest loser in the Chris Paul sweepstakes is the Los Angeles Clippers, because I would have loved to see him there. I think that right now where you're looking at is Phoenix saying, all right, we have an opportunity to develop our guys and to have a leader in that locker room. And I think that it's more about – like I'm not going to say that Chris Paul's not washed up. He can still ball.
Mm-hmm.
I've never been a huge fan.
He's a point guard. He's a point guard.
Like, I've never been a huge Chris Paul fan,
Moran
but
says.
I think what they're looking at is, I think what you alluded to, James, a little earlier as far as the James Harden going to Miami thing, where you have a guy who can kind of teach these guys about the mentality of how to make shit happen. I think Chris Paul going to Phoenix can do that in the sense,
especially for Devin Booker.
Yeah, Chris Paul is, regardless of whatever you think about him, like being a dick or okay, he's a leader. Mm-hmm. And he's a guy that can get shit done and let guys follow him. And to have that, I love this move for Phoenix. I think it's a good move for Phoenix. But as far as like X's and O's, I don't really care about it. I think there were a lot better storylines for me of where Chris Paul could have went other than Phoenix.
Well, looking at it for Phoenix, I think that makes them a playoff team.
I mean, didn't they miss the bubble by like the bubble playoffs by like?
No, they were in the bubble and Devin Booker,
but then
Brian.
Yeah, I know Devin Booker balled out, but they missed the playoffs because
Dame went off.
Yeah. No, they're gonna be fun to watch. I like DeAndre Ayton a lot.
The West is really good.
The West is really good. Every single one of those teams in the West have gotten better.
Yeah. Well,
so like
I mean, the Mavs got better just by experience, but other than that, like, no.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think that's a huge part to do with it. Like, if you're –
yeah, but Porzingis is going to miss the start of the season. He's hurt.
A lot of guys are going to miss the start of the season.
Everybody's going to miss – look, LeBron could run a triathlon the day before.
No. What I'm saying is Porzingis got hurt again.
No,
Kristaps is always fucking hurt.
That's an issue.
He's a unicorn. His horn gets stuck
an
on
issue.
shit.
But who's the most important person in Dallas?
Luka.
No, Luka.
All
right.
Also,
Luka's going to get better, which is scary.
What was I gonna say?
We lost Silas though, which kind of sucks.
And then, what was I gonna say? Oh, and the Pelicans started adding pieces as well.
Mm-hmm.
The Pelicans are going to be one of the. Like I said, it kind of runs counter to what I'm saying as far as as far as you have a team getting rid of everybody, getting rid of their superstars for all these picks and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
But I've never seen a team ever be able to stack up this much shit for the future. The Pelicans.
No, OKC.
Oh, well, OKC is OKC or I get that, but what OKC doesn't have,
is it Zion?
New Orleans does have is Zion, which at the end of the day, I still have my issues with Zion. But I think Zion, Lonzo Ball, I think that they're not some scrub ass team. and they still have a lot of picks and stuff going forward. I think it's kind of exciting to see.
Hold on.
What the Pelicans can do. What?
Because OKC first round picks.
And I wouldn't be surprised if we see Zion, because I know everybody's worried about, his weight and the wear and tear on his body. I wouldn't be surprised if he spent the last 2 months getting some strength.
2, 3, 4.
He's going to be dirty.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10,
so
11,
fucking good.
12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. They got 18 first-round picks between now and 2026.
Who does that? Who's
OKC.
This? And how many do the Pels have?
I don't know, but it ain't 18.
10.
18.
Yeah, but here's the thing. And this is true.
My thing is, I'm not as high on Zion as everybody else because I just feel like that man is too heavy.
Remember, yeah, he's going to lose that weight. He's a professional athlete now.
Well,
he can pay for it.
As far as the hills in which Zion is playing out of position because of his weight and all kinds of stuff, I am the king of that hill. I just want to make sure everybody knows, king of that fucking hill.
Remember when he was fat and breaking rookie records everywhere?
Ain't about that. It's about in 2 or 3 years when his body wears down and he ends up like Big Baby Davis.
He's not the same player, and
the human body's the human body.
Right. But we saw him do it before the bubble. He started getting back in shape. I would not be surprised when the season starts. He's a lean, mean fighting machine. And he's going to put on that old muscle, which he hasn't done yet.
You said back in shape like he ever's been in shape.
No, he never had to be. He was the number one player in college. He's not the number one player in the NBA.
I'm saying I got to see what this looks like going into this season. Yeah. I mean, I haven't seen any pictures of him. I don't know what his workout record is.
They literally have not posted anything about him since August.
Yeah, so when he shows up to camp 300 pounds.
I will giggle. Who is the baseball player that showed up like 400 pounds? He's a shortstop. God.
I don't know why I want to say Prince Fielder. I know it's not Prince
Fielder. It was Prince Fielder?
I used to get called Prince Fielder because a lot of people said I looked like
Panda.
Yeah, it was Panda, wasn't it? Yeah, and then there's a really heavy catcher for, I think, the Blue Jays who's just fast as shit.
Oh, I did want to give an update on the whole team name stuff. I mean, team fandom. I decided not to be a fan of any team and just rock the hats I like. So I fuck with the A's hat, so I'm wearing it.
Good for you.
You're a fan of hats.
I'm not a fan of any team. I'm a fan of the sport.
You're a fan of hats.
Yeah. Whatever. You're a fan of hats too.
Flat caps. I can't wear them now.
Shut up. Shut up.
I'm a fan of white robes.
All right.
Like in the biblical sense?
No.
Yeah, like
we're gonna transition on to the NFL now.
Yeah, hold on. Fuck the NBA. It's football season, okay? I don't want to be hearing all this exciting shit happening at this stage of the year because the NBA is on some fuck shit because of COVID. Like, this is NFL's time to shine. And God damn it. Just makes me upset.
DeAndre Baker.
Swift is only a game back.
DeAndre Baker. All the charges have been dropped. Apparently, he was extorted by somebody in Florida.
Didn't he say that?
Yeah, he did.
Remember when he was like, hey, I got extorted? And they were like, nah, you robbed us. And he was like, no, I didn't do that. How many games has DeAndre Baker played this year?
None.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Guys, you remember who broke that story about DeAndre Baker that got him subsequently cut from his team and then through a legal battle, and now he's innocent but unemployed?
Was it TMZ?
Oh, my God. That's insane.
Oh, well, fuck TMZ.
That one wrong. Fuck you, TMZ.
Dane, what are you looking up?
Something about DeAndre Baker as far as the
So there was an attorney arrested in South Florida, I believe, who I guess coached witnesses.
Yep. And said that this can all go away if you pay, what was it, $265K?
$266,000 which it turns out is extortion, and it's illegal. What an asshole. Also, like, who are these alleged victims out here trying to ruin someone's life over $750,000? Like, that's a lot of money, but like, sure, if you ask for like 25 real quick just to hold, DeAndre probably would have given it to you. Why you got to try and ruin his leg? That's fucked up. It's fucked up.
Yeah, I don't know, man. The whole story from the beginning has always just been weird. I mean, I think this is the third time we've talked about it on the pod.
And we withheld judgment because we didn't know how it was going to end. It sounded fucked up.
Yeah, even if I didn't like
the Latimer.
I didn't even like Quentin Dunbar past a certain point, even as a Washington DB who then went to Seattle when all this shit first started happening. But I mean, even when you heard like the charges got dropped against Quentin Dunbar, like really early on, then Dunbar was saying there was more to the story. Then the entire aspect of the story from what we heard was that like there was a card game and they lost money and then they kept everybody there at gunpoint and like robbed everybody in the own house. It's like none of this seems accurate.
Who does that? Who robs someone in their own house?
It's just weird. Like, so I don't know. I actually don't think it's the end of this story.
I hope he gets picked up tonight.
Huh?
I hope a team picks him up tonight.
He's got to clear the NFL has to do their investigation now and clear him.
Is he still a Giant?
No, they cut him.
They cut him.
Huh.
I mean,
and then I think also like Tack McKinley failed his physical. So.
Also, here is the newest news on DeAndre Baker. He's on his way to Kansas City to have a physical.
Sake. Great. Fucking great. All right.
The rich get richer. Yeah.
Fuck them. All right.
The poor get poor.
All right. Let's go over the NFL picks. We're going to start with last week.
No. Please, God, no.
Yeah. We'll start from the other way this time.
I had one really good pick and then a lot of really bad picks.
You had 5 good picks because you got 5 right.
Well, one of them was going against the grain and it paid off in 0%. 0% of a win.
Yeah. Next is Kadeen with 7. And then I got 8
first.
I got 8.
That's why did I go against what I thought? Look, you want to talk about salient, brilliant football breakdown? How about we talk about me and that Pats Ravens thing? All right, I called that shit. All right, I called that.
Do it
all the way the fuck out.
You didn't stick with your gut.
I hate the gut bullshit. I never should switch. I should just keep what I had.
Stick with your gut, man. All right, so let's look at this week's games.
Are we breaking out any of the games from last week? I wanted to mention a couple things.
All right, go ahead.
All right, so number one on that Pats Ravens thing, the rain was a big factor.
Yeah,
but I also coupled the rain with what it is that Baltimore was trying to do with being a lot more cuter on offense, which is not at all what you need to do, especially when it looks like there's a goddamn tsunami happening.
It's run it down their throats, and they did.
Right, but they wouldn't do it. And Bill Belichick, once again, he comes prepared, and when you're trying to do all this special fancy shit, he's gonna call you out, and he's gonna get it done, and it makes it that much harder to actually complete anything. When it was a monsoon, man, it was insane the amount of rain that was there that day, which was also great to see. I don't know if you guys saw the video of the the Browns game that got delayed for the start. You see the video like inside the stadium before the game? Jesus.
Yeah, there was like lightning hitting the stadium.
It was insane. The amount of like wind and rain and everything.
Yeah, we played there like 2 weeks ago.
Cleveland.
Yeah, it was bad.
All the little chicks with the crimson lips.
All right, since we're talking about that, let's go ahead and mention the Raiders Broncos game where we beat their ass by 25.
Yeah,
I literally am not picking the Raiders because I don't like you.
Well, look. That's the difference between me and you, because I just don't. I
make this shit look good.
I don't pick the whiff because I don't think they're gonna win.
I dislike the Raiders because they have flaunted like Trump's administration in the eyes of COVID. So they are the bad guys. Not to mention they named their stadium the Death Star, but blah, 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 blah.
Don't equate us to Trump.
Also.
Yeah, treat COVID the same way.
Your organs are more like Trump than ours is.
That game.
Not with COVID.
Was
What's your team name?
Josh Jacobs. Josh Jacobs' game.
Yeah, and Booker.
On my fantasy team. So I get what I need to out of the Raiders and then discard them.
I started Josh Jacobs as well.
Yeah.
If we want to go back to the Browns-Texans game real quick, I saw this during the game, and I wish I had known that monsoon was coming and the weather, because they couldn't They couldn't throw the ball, and Nick Chubb was back. And who is it? Fucking Duke Johnson is the running back for the Texans.
Yep. Former Brown.
I would have switched immediately, because that ball, when it got up in the air, is never getting to its target.
Like, something's wrong with Houston.
No, Deshaun Watson's a better quarterback, but you can't throw when there's 40-mile-per-hour gusts. It was bad.
Deshaun Watson's
pissed off.
Deshaun Watson's a hell of a player. They get rid of DeAndre Hopkins, who's making Hail Mary catches for fucking Kyler Murray in Arizona now.
That play was
spectacular. Kyler is magical. Sorry, Buffalo Bills fans.
I'm not even mad about that.
It's more than Kyler Murray on that. DeAndre Hopkins' hand strength.
Oh no, it's insane.
It's something.
Did you see?
Wow.
Did you see that the catch alone? The photo of the catch has made Nike, I think, $55 million because his Jordan logo is on it or whatever. But DeAndre doesn't get any of that money because he's not a Jordan or a Nike athlete, which is kind of funny. All right, but the other takeaway that I had from last week.
It'd be nice if he started wearing his own type of gloves.
I don't know what that means. He's got to go.
If he made his own gloves. If he made his own brand of gloves.
DeAndre, if you know, I know a child labor shop in China that does amazing work. Their tiny fingers can get the stitching just done perfectly. Alex Smith is the NFL Comeback Player of the Year. I don't care that we suck. He
made it to the field. Here's your award.
It's not true. If you look at his stat line from this last week, Alex looked like Alex of old. He broke, I think, his career record for completions in a game.
Don't say he broke anything.
Shut up. He's he
broke his fibia.
He shattered his record for
Don't say shattered either. That just makes it worse.
Alex Smith.
He bested. He bested.
There we go. Good job.
Fucking stupid shit. Like, even though we lost the game, and it was a heartbreaker, Matt Stafford just doing what he usually does, is just break hearts. I really like what I saw with Alex Smith, and I think there's a legitimate argument to be made that Alex Smith might be our starter next year.
Prater nailed that 59-yarder.
Yeah, he did. It was heartbreaking.
Also, I believe the Whiffs should have tried to win that game. I was going to hearken it to what the Bills did, but then the Bills blew it. And then, even better about that game is, as you know, I'm an avid degenerate gambler. The spread was 2.5. And when they kneeled, instead of kicking the extra point, which everyone was like, oh, sweet, I'm going to cover with my 3. And then they kneeled, so it actually went the other direction and broke thousands of hearts across the country. Same with Nick Chubb.
I did see, what's his name, Dave Portnoy lost 50K on the Bills game.
Yeah, but, like, how can you even be mad? You made the right play.
Yeah.
And, look, Kyler Murray is something special. For as little as he is.
Short quarterbacks.
He ran out of the pocket and then flung that bitch and gave his receiver a chance.
Tua's little brother plays for Maryland.
Tua 3-0. Tua 3-0.
How big is Josh Allen? Because
he's a massive man.
He looks like Big Ben. Like, there are linebackers and linemen grabbing him, and he's like, "No, thank you."
He's leaner than Ben was, but he's I think he's at least as tall as Tom.
That loss deters me zero on how good the Bills are.
Yeah. I love the Bill. I love Josh Allen with a passion, man. I think there's a crop of young quarterbacks in the NFL right now that are just making it really. I had this discussion with somebody the other day. I didn't really look into detail about it. Has there been a better time ever as far as the crop of quarterback talent that's across the league?
I'm sure there has, but
I don't know.
Was it the Eli Manning years?
I'm not talking about like just the draft. I'm not talking about like just the draft or anything. I'm saying if you were to look across the league at 32 teams, has there been this many quarterbacks of quality across the league? at any given point in time.
Who
the peaks might have been higher. Like when you had Tom Brady and Peyton Manning and their peak might be better than what we were seeing. It's an argument to be made, right? But if we're looking across the 32 teams, has there been this many quarterbacks of this high quality, and especially this young?
The way the game is being played has changed too.
So I get it, but they're still good and bad quarterbacks. I'm just saying that if we're looking at it just from a talent standpoint, and trust me, I know that right now the rules and everything help out the quarterbacks more than ever has.
It's more pass happy league.
Yeah.
I get it, but I'm still just from a talent standpoint, has there been? I think it's something to look at.
All right, let's move on to this week's games. So the first one we have is the Cardinals versus Seahawks, which happens tomorrow. Since you guys are seeing this on Wednesday. So I picked the Cardinals.
Where are they playing?
Seahawks.
Give me Seattle.
Okay. Ryan?
Cardinals.
Okay.
Oh, it's also gonna make another thing to pat myself on the back. I also told you guys that Russell Wilson, while he was leading the MVP race, by week 10, Patrick Mahomes would turn on and be the leader in the MVP race.
All right, next one, Steelers-Jaguars.
Just saying.
What was the Nostradamus on Chappelle's show?
Negrodamus.
I picked the Steelers. Who do you got?
Who is it? I'm sorry.
Steelers-Jags.
Give me the Steelers, but the Steelers are going to lose in the next couple weeks.
Mike Tomlin came out and said he had enormous respect for the Jaguars because they're professionals. They're coming out there to try to whip their ass. So they're not overlooking this game. Who you got, Ryan?
Go with your heart. You want Luton, man.
Steelers,
you want to go for Luton. Just go with it.
No.
Get 4 wins next week.
Look. You sure?
I will best my previous terrible record. Yeah, I'll take Steelers.
All right. Lions-Panthers. I picked the Panthers. I know McCaffrey's out and Teddy Bridgewater might be out, but I like what Mike Davis has done.
Detroit.
Okay.
Detroit seems like a really good pick after watching what they did to Washington. Even though, I mean, it's not a huge thing as far as what they did to Washington. I like Teddy. Where are they playing?
At Carolina. Yep.
All right, Carolina.
Okay. Patriots, Texans. I picked the Patriots. They're playing in Houston.
I take Deshaun Watson.
Okay.
Just him. I don't want points from any of the rest of the team.
I think this is a toughie.
You want to go to tie?
No, I'm not going to go for a tie.
Did tie be like a 3-pointer?
No, if you call a tie correctly, you win.
The rest of the year, I win.
Yeah. Like
I never had to pick another game again.
Yeah, you called the tie correctly in week 3.
I walk into casinos and I'm the guy that picked the tie, and they just give me money.
Mm-hmm. Shower you with coins.
Let me go with Patriots, but this might be the one I choose. I switch.
All right. Titans, Ravens. I picked the Ravens. They're playing in Baltimore.
Give the Ravens to get right after the New England loss.
All right.
Give me the Titans.
Okay. Eagles, Browns. I picked the Browns. They're playing in Cleveland.
Browns.
Anybody but the Eagles.
Okay.
What the fuck is wrong with that team? Ugh.
Don't know, but they don't want to win the division.
Also, if we are looking at how good a quarterback is, Danny Dimes is looking a lot better than any other quarterback in the NFC East.
Alex Smith, don't sleep.
Saints, Falcons. I picked the Saints.
Ugh.
And Drew Brees might be out for like 3 weeks.
Yeah, give me the Falcons. I don't think Jamie is I love Jameis, but they haven't named him as the starter yet.
No, he's gonna be sharing the backfield with or sharing the quarterback position
with Taysom Hill. Okay, Atlanta.
Right. Go ahead and pick the Saints. You know you want to.
I'm going to take Atlanta.
Okay. Bengals versus the Whift. I picked the Whift.
This is gonna be a tough game. Give me the Whift.
All right.
I'm scared of Joe Burrow.
Me too, but I actually picked you guys this week.
Well, Chase Young got held in check by Detroit. Oh.
Yeah, he was non-existent. He looked terrible.
Ryan, are you picking the Bengals this time?
He wants to pick the Bengals. Just put him down.
No, he has to say it. You pick the Whift every week.
Yeah, I know.
And he loves picking the Bengals.
What you doing, man?
Give me Joey V.
Oh, shit. He picked against his former team. All right. The Jets and Chargers. I picked the Chargers.
Anybody but the Jets.
All right.
And not the Jets.
Adam Gates is still there. So
Chargers.
You picked? Okay. You said
I love
it so.
Justin Herbert.
Watch him get fired midweek.
Yeah. Then you change your pick.
Yeah,
if he automatic pick change.
Dolphins, Broncos. I picked the Dolphins.
Yes,
Dolphins.
Give me
Tua go 4-0.
Yeah, we hurt Drew Lock pretty bad.
I'm so glad short quarterbacks are getting the respect they need now.
Cowboys and Vikings. I picked the Vikings.
Vikings.
Yep.
Coming off that big win against Chicago, which I also
Cook will cook.
Oh yeah, Vikings. I don't know.
Okay. Kadeem?
Vikings.
Okay. Packers, Colts. I picked the Packers.
Go Pack, go.
Okay.
Give me the Colts of Indianapolis.
Wow. I mean, they do deserve some respect, so. Chiefs, Raiders. I want to say one thing first. I know you all picking the Chiefs, but Andy Reid is pissed. Have you guys heard all the shit that – okay, so you've heard it. All right, so apparently – well, I knew this happened, but after the first victory in Kansas City and Arrowhead, we did a victory lap or two around Chiefs Stadium, as John Gruden says it, because the bus driver was a Chiefs fan, and he said some funny comments as the team was about to play the Chiefs.
That's awesome.
So he was like, you know what? Fuck it. Take a lap around this bitch. Thank you. Yep, another one. And Andy Reid didn't like it. So everybody's going to pick the Chiefs. I know. I'm picking the Raiders.
Give me the Chiefs to beat these motherfuckers. Beat this classless organization.
Your organization.
Into the ground.
So I don't hear that. But it's Sunday night, which kind of fucks with me. I don't want this game to be at Sunday night.
Every time it gets to 7:30, almost 8 o'clock on Sunday evenings, I look at myself in the mirror and I say, I've been waiting all day for Sunday
night. Yeah. No, I don't watch Sunday night, and I'm like, I gotta watch it now.
The Chiefs.
National television embarrassment.
I know. I hope not.
Oh, I hope not. So.
But didn't you beat the Chiefs at a 1 o'clock game?
Yeah,
they beat the shit out of the Chiefs. Where y'all playing?
We're playing in Vegas.
Oh, fantastic!
We beat
I
them.
can't wait to see. I can't wait to see the flame go out and the stadium implode.
I think not if they get us down early, it's gonna be a rough day.
Are you wearing a quarter sleeve V-neck? You showing the guns off on a V-neck today? I just noticed that. Did you leave back?
I'm in my apartment, bro.
Bitch, I'm at home.
I can show up in a fucking robe if I want to.
I'm not wearing my nice clothes for. I ain't seeing nobody.
Yeah, I got on sweatpants.
I dress up for the podcast.
I dress from here up. I'm wearing shorts.
I'm wearing jeans, socks, and shoes right now.
You're wearing jeans inside?
You're not wearing fucking shoes.
I am wearing shoes. I'm wearing my suede boots.
Oh, all right.
That's some Baltimore shit.
Wait. The last game is the Rams versus the Bucks. That's Monday Night Football. I picked the Buccaneers. It's in Tampa Bay.
I did win on that Rams pick last week. But this week.
You didn't win much because you got 5.
I hate to do this, but give me the Rams.
Ooh. Okay. Remember, you can only change one pick.
I know. I'm already looking at the one I'm going to pick. I'm going to choose.
That's why I pick so many good picks instead of bad picks, so that I
don't trust your good picks, Ryan.
I don't either, but a lot of them are the same ones you took.
I don't think you know the difference between your good pick and your bad pick.
First of all, you shut your fucking mouth. I'm going to take
Watch Ryan get every fucking game right.
Bucks.
Besides one, which would be the Raiders and Chiefs.
I'm still upset that I did not stick with my gut on that Pats game.
Yeah, we would have drawn. Well, this is fun, guys.
Oh, we would have. What were you drawn?
Yeah, you would have gotten 8. I would have had 8.
But you picked the what you call it?
I did.
Yeah,
you would have won.
I would have won.
Damn. Ryan, before we go, what do you have to say to your hater?
Man, I'm just out here, spouting facts. You do have a good point. He did retire. But I'm just saying, if there's still
how are you spouting facts if he was right?
I'm just saying, what I was trying to say is if he had driven longer, he probably could have won more championships.
So if he did more races, he was good enough to win more.
Yeah, he's still elite. And I'm saying if he didn't get hurt, he probably could come back and still drive and still be an elite Formula One driver. That's all I'm saying. But no, keep coming with the heat. If you keep fact checking me, like CNN.
Hey, just want to
Twitter
or Tweeter.
AR, the guy who called Ryan dumb. Well, you're not wrong, and I do disagree with your premise as far as Schumacher. We don't know. The fact that if Schumacher's still at race, we don't know where it would be. I still would like to say that Lewis Hamilton, when it's all said and done, will be the greatest driver of all time. I'd also like to say, AR, if you are listening to our podcast and the only thing that you've gotten out of our podcast is a Michael Schumacher-Lewis Hamilton debate, then I'm assuming you're not a listener of our podcast and you just go from video to video searching either Lewis Hamilton or Michael Schumacher. So fuck off, okay?
Well, hold on. Number one, that was a big thing for him to win 7. So I'm sure people were searching for Lewis. And then number 2, I've been looking for Raider shit, people to talk about the Raiders, but nobody does. It's after every win.
Okay, so James and AR, collective of the sadly searching YouTube to find somebody to connect with or argue. Yeah, I don't know. Still listen to us, but fuck off.
All right, so I will not listen to this podcast.
Don't lie. Look, here's what I can see the analytics on the videos too. I don't think you're not watching the videos anymore.
I do.
I watched the last one.
Oh, I'm saying the consistency that used to be is no longer there, and you can't deny it.
I haven't looked at the page in a minute.
Yeah, when I'm like, I was
like, oh shit, we got 4 more subs.
It's time for me to watch this video. I know James is gonna be here, no views. I'm like, all right, great. All right, I'm just gonna turn this on now.
Look, when you post it, I click on it. But also, I'm saying when you post in the group chat. Also, I would like for us to be a little bit more, more active on Twitter, because I know, Kadeen, you're funny as shit.
You don't know what I am.
Oh, so you're not funny?
No, we know you.
What
am I? Well, I'm funny to you? Funny how?
Like a clown?
Like a clown?
Like fucking amuse you?
Yes.
You might fold under pressure.
All right, boys. It's time for me to go eat some fucking dinner. I'll die.
Are we doing final thoughts? Are we done? What are we doing? What is that?
Well, yeah. Ryan, what's your final thought?
Well, Mo El Neni from Arsenal has the COVID, so he will not be available for our probably loss this weekend. Kind of unfortunate.
Too.
Who did?
Suarez. And we played them. No, he's missing the game against Barca.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's good for you.
Yeah.
I'm kind of sad that the Bills have a bye week this week because that's a heartbreaking loss to sit on for 2 weeks. But we'll bounce back. Other than that, I feel like the next 7 days are just going to be the NBA taking over all the Sports Center highlights for all the trades that are coming. But yeah, should be a good week for sports. We got some hockey stuff coming up too. I know the Caps are back in Medplex.
That fucking jersey redesign.
It's
Woo!
Caps released a retro jersey.
Oh my god!
A red version of the old Reebok jersey with the Screaming Eagle on it, and they go on sale December 1st. I'm assuming they're going to be limited quantity, so you can buy them at NHL.com and through the Washington Capitals website. So grab those.
All right, Kadeem, here you go.
So I usually go on my COVID thing, but I think everybody pretty much knows that we're still kind of fucked and waiting for the vaccination stuff. So do what you need to do to stay safe and wear your mask. If you're going to do anything for Thanksgiving, because look, I know in all reality, even as much as we scream for the rooftops, you shouldn't be going and hanging out with your family and all that shit. It's not going to stop most of people from going out and hanging out with their families. So try to do as best as you can to mitigate your risk of giving anybody COVID. If you plan on doing anything for Thanksgiving, shut the fuck down now. Don't go out. Don't be doing shit, and make sure that you're in a position you can go. And if you can, in your area, get tested before you go and visit any family, just so that everybody's aware and make sure that they know and do their own contact tracing on seeing where to. And if you do have COVID, don't be the asshole in the zombie movie that gets bit by the zombie and doesn't say shit to anybody. Be the person that realizes that you need to take action. Also, I'm listening to Stacey Abrams out of Georgia. While I did have every intention of going down to Georgia to help out with the Senate runoff with John Ossoff and David Perdue. Sorry, John Ossoff and Raphael Warnock. Fuck David Perdue. She did beg people not to move down to Georgia because COVID. And
also voter fraud.
But she said, well, it's to move down to help volunteer. But if you go to Vote Save America / Georgia, you can find out different ways in which you can volunteer from wherever you live, whether it be phone bank, text banks, or just giving money to the campaigns. It's very, very important we get this done. Right now, we are waiting for the vaccine, but look, it's about to be a really dark winter, and we need COVID relief. There are a lot of people that are in financial ruins because of this, and what we need to do is be able to have places shut down, but at least get their employees and get the proprietors paid in the interim to get shit done. And it's not going to happen with Mitch McConnell running the Senate. So we need to do what we can to get Democrats in control of the Senate so that we can actually do this COVID relief the way we should. And also, Daddy needs a new iPad. I'm joking.
No, but in all reality, I'm a Republican. I think I've said it here before. But at this point, having a split House and Senate is not viable.
Useless.
It's not viable. And 4 years of spending my future tax dollars to help millions of people doesn't bother me. So do what you got to do, and let's get these people their help. Oh, also, I was talking to an ER doc. He said it's more important to get tested if you go see family. It's more important to get tested after Thanksgiving than during, because you may have it and might not show up. But if you get test positive on Monday and you saw your family on Thursday, then you'll know that you probably had it during your Thanksgiving with your family. So keep that in mind.
I do both.
But if you can only do one or insurance only
do it afterwards
one,
and then let your family know.
Yeah.
Well,
Hummus?
This is fun. I appreciate it. Hopefully, PSA can get us our shit back.
Yeah, it should be shipping in like a week, I think.
That would be so much love.
What's happening?
We're getting our cards back.
Oh, all right.
We will be doing card videos every now and again, and the first one will be the unboxing of the PSA returns.
And don't forget, we have the NBA draft tomorrow.
Yep, and LaMelo Ball might go number 1, but who knows?
It depends if the team will trade it.
What if OKC trades for Giannis?
It won't happen.
They got 18 first-round picks.
If I'm Giannis, why do I leave Milwaukee with Drew Holiday to go to Oklahoma?
If it's not just Giannis they trade for.
They got 18 first-round picks to deal.
Yeah. And as you can see, it don't take that much.
Yeah, especially in this market. Trump's Coffee of Alexandria. Do you have anything to close us out with?
Yeah, I can't wait to watch The Voice in 10 minutes. Beyond that, I'm hoping Kansas City does what we all want to see happen, which is make the Death Star go fucking boom.
Lose.